Starting at an early age, honestly, at like the ages of 12, 13, I struggled with severe depression, anxiety, suicide ideation, and a lot of self-harm as well. And that lived experience has really brought me into the work I do today. Transition from childhood to adulthood is huge. So a lot of students and youth in general, they begin to struggle with a lot of stigma, cultural stigma, struggling with family issues, navigating relationships within their world, whether this be romantic relationships, sense of community within their friends. And that's why we have 98, because it's to show you, as youth, you guys are not alone. There are resources out there and people that want to help you. 988 is there for you 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, in over 140 languages.
A lot of the counselors may have their own lived experience, right? Everyone has their own background. That's what makes every counselor unique and special while practicing the standards and protocols we have in place. Yeah, counselors are trained in harboring that safe and welcoming space for a caller so they feel heard and validated. We risk assess and safety plan because our goal is to make sure the caller's safe. And we want them to feel validated and heard, and we do that with empathy and compassion.
There are a ton of misperceptions and stigmas towards starting mental health conversations that include calling 988. Some of the big ones that we see on the daily within our outreach program is one, being afraid that the cops or law enforcement are going to get involved when they call 988 and reach out for help. That is actually false. There are no law enforcement. You are fully confidential whenever you call 988.
So when you dial 988, there's a couple options it walks you through. There's a veteran service option, if there's a LGBTQIA plus service, and then if you stay on the line, you can just speak with a counselor. There's also a Spanish speaking option as well.
So a lot of times it's just being heard, being seen for who you are, and understand that as a human being, we all go through levels of crisis. Suicide cuts across all socioeconomic, ethnic, and other classes. It affects all of us.
You know, taking calls made me realize that a lot of people do hurt. Maybe they hurt in silence, maybe they don't want to talk about it, but the ones that do call, they're open to talking about it. I think that's so brave and strong for someone to be able to call in and talk about how they're really feeling. I wish when I was younger, I knew this was an option, because it may have made things easier for me when I was struggling.
So you are completely confidential in a completely safe space, talking to a counselor, someone just like me behind the phones. With 988, I like to say it's like calling a best friend. When you need someone to talk to, you're having a really tough day, you don't know who to call, 988 is always there for you guys to call.